Hello, everyone. Good night. Hi, my name is Hao, and here we have our legend guest, Ken, from Source Legends, as the name
Hello,
suggests.
everybody.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Just he has a lot of interesting story to share with us tonight. And before we come to that, just give me 1 minute so that you know what tonight we're aiming for and what you can expect. Hopefully you can do more interaction with us. So today's event is hosted by Moledao and Source Legends. So Moledao, as you know, joining our community, you're going to be a truly passionate of a crypto entrepreneur. You want to learn something, that we have something for you from a workshop to learn some very basic stuff, talking to industry leaders, different protocols from technology, from just investment perspective, or just from a overall industry perspective. There'll be a lot of other community members who can share their experience or their challenges, and hopefully you can all learn together. Just right now, we have our second hackathon launched. It's NFT themed. So that's why last Friday we have done one on the NFT market overview, landscape, etc. So if you remember that, this is just the start. And here we're going to hear a lot more story from Ken tonight regarding the Source Legend. Ken, if you can just probably introduce a little bit about Source Legend in general, and then we can start the session. Yeah.
Okay, thanks Hal for having me. Hi everybody, my name is Ken, and Source Legend, we are the world's first Web3 source. Right, so right now you must be thinking, what is a Web3 source?
I like Web3. Yes, this is great.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Source is a staple in every home, right? So if you don't believe how important sauce is, just try having barbecue or hot pot without sauce. It will just taste, totally
horrible.
Different, right?
I know, yeah. It's horrible. Yeah.
Yes. The sauce flavors our food. It is in every country. It is in every household, right? Be it a chili sauce, a soy sauce, a fish sauce. Different countries love different types of sauces, right?
Yeah.
So Source Legend is going to be an NFT. It's going to be focused on sauces. So I like your topic about how it's called NFT 2.0. I think that's where the trend is going. Industries that are Web 1 or Web 2 or even Web 0. I think sauce is a Web 0 industry, right? That's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
Yeah, if you're going to define something called Web 0, yeah, I mean, sauce don't need a web to be actually functionable, right? You can just use your simple human taste to really get a feel. And that can be really, I think, to some extent, I think as you were this word suggests legend, right? It has been, I think, essentially passed down through thousands of years, or even tens of thousands of years, right? So before, I think you definitely have a lot more interesting to share about what is a Web3 and the Web3 source is going to be involved. But before that, may I ask you just a very simple question? Just how did you get into crypto? And what is your crypto journey so far? Has this been rewarding? And has it been a little bit excited or up and downs, emotional?
Good question, Hal. I started getting involved in 2017. And that's the year of the ICOs, right? The whole trend of all the coins getting out, and it's been a roller coaster,
Right.
I make some, I lose a lot, I make more and I lose more.
I know.
Yeah, so it's been an up and down roller coaster. I got involved because of my friends, right? Around me, there are also other entrepreneurs like myself. And then, when this really came about, and I think 2017 was the year when all the different coins and it really became really popular at the time before the crash.
That's right.
Of course.
Yeah. ICO, I mean, what they call the ICO euphoria or ICO bubble.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So it's good, you know, it's painful, right? But of course, we learn, and then, you know, some of us, we're still around.
That's great. I mean, usually people who have actually joined the market since I would say the peak, and usually you don't see them actually when the bull market ends, right? And you are definitely going to stay here. I think definitely going to really see how these Web3 applications, particularly in your industry, in your expertise, is going to take off. And really like to hear your story in that.
Yeah.
So you can do us a presentation, right?
Yeah, sure. So now, why we do what we do? Because I think the sauce industry is broken. You know, it's a case of relentless chase of profits. I mean, when was the last time you saw an innovation in sauces? Right? The labels are the same, the companies are the same, right? And you know, the industry in the relentless chase of profits, especially now with inflation, electricity, oil, gas, everything's going up, right? But the price of sauces have not changed much, right, over the years, right? It's always affordable. It was always maintained at a certain price point, right?
Yeah.
Something that and how is that possible? You think, how is it possible that a bottle of normal sauce, for example, is selling at maybe in Singapore is $2, right? $3. How is it sometimes even $1, $2? How is it even cheaper than water, than the bottled distilled water, right? Have you ever thought of that?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, never thought about that. I mean, I was talking to my kids today about what I'm going to do later. And I think it's about $2 you can buy at the supermarket. They said, I can buy actually just one bottle of water, right? Why the sauce is actually cheaper or sometimes similar price, right? It takes much more effort to do.
Right? Yeah, right. So have you wondered? Yeah, and sauce companies as a whole, right, are under a lot of cost pressure. So as a result, some quality and of course the traditional way of making sauce is gone, right? The traditional way, which uses time, which uses good quality ingredients, is gone, right? And that's why we do what we do, and that's why Sauce Legend is here. Okay, we identify a problem, and we think this is a widespread problem. So the problem, if you can see, is that there's a lot of health warnings these days, right? Not just this few years, early 2000s, right? Some samples of sauces are found to potentially cause cancer, you know, and some of these are banned from some countries. And it's all online. You just Google soy sauce cancer brands, and you can read a lot of articles there. And you know, it's heartbreaking, but our you know, to know all this, and this is what we feed ourselves and our families, and you know, and our vision is we want to make all sauces safe again, masa. And we think with the blockchain, with the technology, and with the coming mass adoption and of the Web3 and the metaverse, all that coming, I think we can make a difference. And that's why we call this Sauce Legend. So make all sauces safe again, masa, that's our rallying call. Right?
I like
this will affect every
very
household.
Powerful.
Any household that, you know, and that is the potential that we can create together, right? To make all sources safe again. Safe for ourselves, safe for our kids. To make all sources safe in the sense that it is made with love. It is something that is healthy, just like how our ancestors had sauces, right?
Yeah.
And they can even make it themselves, you know?
That's
so
true.
Who's our target audience, right? First will be, of course, the health conscious consumers, right? There is a growing trend. People now are no longer just looking for the cheapest. They are very careful about what people are putting in their mouths, what they are consuming. That's why you have the whole farm to table movement. People are choosing small producers around the world, and not just the big brands, right? The young families with kids, right? How, like you and me, right? The young families with kids, we can, you know, really as an Asian parent, we really would save on ourselves and then give the best to our kids, right? So that's a very big segment. Millennials and Gen Z. I think Gen Z and millennials are very, very conscious. They don't just want, They don't just want food there's food. They want food that's environmentally friendly, sustainable, issues like that concern them. Food influencers, right? We see that a lot. Gastronomes, people who love their gourmet food, good quality food, as well as chefs, right?
Yes.
So that's the potential reach of how we can benefit the audience. So we aim to be a bigger source player. It's a big, hairy, audacious goal, our BHack, right? By leveraging a blockchain and bringing the physical world onto the metaverse. Food traditionally is slow in adopting new technology because, it's not as fast as entertainment. It's not as fast as arts, for example. Food has traditionally always been a follower, right? But I think with this, we are able to accelerate the adoption of the blockchain by the whole of supply chain, the vertical chain of food and specifically sources. So I have a little diagram here which talks about how we can do it. So right in the center is a token, Source Legend token. We plan to do an IDO sometime later down the road, where with the token, we can do 4 spheres of influence. First, play source, buy source, make source, and you can vote source as well. Okay, so how do all these come together? Now, first, before I go into this story, let me share a minute or two about my background. So I come from a long history of sauce makers. So my grandfather started a soy sauce brewery in Singapore called Nanyang Sauce. You can check it out, Nanyang Jiangyou, right? Nanyangsauce.com. And even before he came to Singapore, originally he came from China, from Fujian, Quanzhou. So in his family, he comes from a long line of sauce makers, right? So the joke my friends like to make is that if ever I get a cut, you don't see blood coming up. You see, black soy sauce is in the blood.
I see.
Yeah, so we've been making soy sauce in Singapore since 1959. I'm 3rd generation. And what is different about us is that we stick to the traditional handmade, naturally fermented sauce that takes 9 months to make. Now, most sauces you see in a supermarket take anywhere from 1 day to 2 weeks, right? That's how fast it can be produced. But to me, that is neither traditional nor natural. Because they use a series of processes, right, to kind of speed up. So what's the difference? Okay, if you Google real soy sauce, you Google Nanyang sauce, you'll see a lot of videos that the media has done on us and awards that we've got. And you will find the difference, not just in the taste. First, the taste has difference, but also in the health benefits of it, right? So being in a soy sauce environment since growing up, right, has led me to this path of creating this brand new platform called Source Legend. Okay, so what full adoption might look like, right, is we have a launch of our IDO on the exchange. We gamify and we play to earn CCG. CCG means a character card game where people can buy and sell cooking recipes as NFTs. And that's something I want to highlight and talk more about later. Where we also will have shop fronts, right, on Metaverse where we buy and sell sauces. And you know one thing about sauces, have you ever wondered who determines the taste? Why does a soy sauce from brand A taste like this? You know, who determines? There's one person, right? And likely it's the founder of the company, right? They say, okay, soy sauce, we're going to make it level of sweetness out there. But now with the blockchain, you can determine how your sauce should taste like. You want it a little bit more sweet, a little bit less salty, you have the ability to create your own bespoke sauce. Okay, so we have the creation of a sauce DAO, right? Voting rights, and all these are the features of the Web3, and it fits perfectly, nicely in so that it's able to enable the evolution of sauces. Okay, now when I share this, some people think I'm crazy, but I think this is the future, right? And you can make bespoke sauces of both bottles of sauces to buy and sell, and a go-to-market maker for young families to buy sauce. Right? You no longer have to scratch your head. Where do I buy sauce? this source legend can give you the answer. So let's begin with play source. Okay. Now play source is, we want it to be a place where people can play, have fun, but at the same time, learn something about sources. So our strategy is to start with something physical. The web one, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Something like a card, something physical, something that we played when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
With a collectible card game. Okay. And then in part 2, we will convert it and we create it as a CCG, digital trading card game on the blockchain. Okay. And then we will introduce that play to earn component, which is very essential. Okay. Of course, all these, the details are already in the midst of working out. I will share with you what we're looking for so that if any of the viewers here are interested, I think now's the crucial and of course exciting time to join. Buy source. So who can they buy from, right? So the first one is the play source. So source legend will have a game where people can play, right? Physically as well as on the blockchain. The second part, a very critical component, is buy source. They can buy from traditional artisan makers, right? So besides your popular oyster sauce brand called Lee Kam Ki, for example, are there traditional old sauce legends that be around for 50, 100 years, still making it by hand, still making it the old school way, still making good quality stuff? This is where you can find on source legend. Okay, so source legend will have old source legends, sauce makers will put up their products and you can buy from them. And I tell you, they are around, but they are endangered. Nanya sauce is an example. We are around, but we are endangered. You don't find us in the major supermarket. The way we do once a week, you can't fight in terms of the dynamics, right? So e-commerce, which is Web 2, and now the blockchain will enable us to have a distribution point direct to consumers. Okay, so they can buy from old source makers. And second one is they can buy new sources from chefs, from other users of source legend as well. So for example, how? Imagine you have a secret recipe. Let's say you like to cook. Or for example, your mom or your dad or your grandma has got a secret recipe for a special dish, right? You can create a bespoke bottle or a bespoke NFT first on source legend, and then we can even make a bottle for you, and this bottle you can sell to other users on our platform.
I'm the sauce maker, actually. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so we have the old legends and the new legends. The new legends can be you and me, right? We are not making for 50, 100 years, but we can create our own sauce, right? For ourselves first, then as a gift for our family and friends, and also potentially sell to other users anywhere in the world, right? And the third one is, of course, people can buy, users, we in our community, they can buy cooking recipe NFTs from chefs and influencers. Now, a good sauce carries a dish. So for example, right, you see that now with the electricity bills going up, with inflation, egg prices, food prices going up, a lot of old hawkers are closing. A lot of old restaurants are trying to cut down their operating hours. It's pretty sad, right? But over here, in fact, I was speaking to one very famous one that does salt-baked chicken yesterday, right? And we were discussing the possibility, Yan Ji Ji, the salt-baked chicken, right? This company has been around for 60, 70 years. It closed about 3 to 4 years ago, right? And the founder left for overseas, and he was just back in town, and we just met up. And I proposed to him, what if we can collaborate and we make a sauce for your salt-baked chicken? Your salt-baked chicken. So now, although you are no longer operating, but all your fans, all your customers, your old customers that miss and I'm one of them, because I always buy his salt-baked chicken. Now we can make a bottle of sauce, and then we can sell this sauce so that with this sauce, right, they can cook the same salt-baked chicken with the same taste, or maybe 90% similar, right, at home with this bottle of sauce. right?
I'm just checking out. Actually, it's all closed, right? Yeah, all the shops are closed.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
So cooking recipe, NFTs from chef and influencers, or even legends, right? Legendary hawkers and restaurateurs that have closed over the years, we can revive them with this. Okay, so the third one is, of course, make sauce. So first one I summarized. The first one is play sauce, then you can buy sauce, and third one is make sauce. How can new sauce legends like you and me, or chefs or influencers or restaurateurs, how can they make sauce? So first, we have a process, and this is a proprietary system we have spent the last 9 months or so developing, where through R&D and gamification, we do a taste profiling, right? Meaning to say, right, what is your taste on a matrix of 1 to 5, level 1 to 5? How sweet do you want your sauce to be, right? So we have a taste profiling, and then we can turn the recipe into an NFT. Now, NFT is something that's non-fungible, right? So a non-fungible token is something that's unique. So every chef or every person that loves to cook, they will have, for example, for the same dish like salt baked chicken, right? They can have the same ingredient, but they will have different proportions of it. And they may have different brands that they use. Like salt baked chicken uses soy sauce, for example. It uses spices. It uses tang gui, for example, a few other herbs and all that, right? So when it uses some of these items, right, how can it be put into a recipe? So we have got that process, okay? And production, right? After the R&D, after creating it as an NFT, Nanyang Sauce as the sauce maker, we will be the first to start to produce for you. And we will subsequently invite other sauce makers from around the world to also join us as the maker. As a licensed food maker, we know and we have the facility to make custom bottles of sauce. Now, imagine if you were to ever have a own private label of sauce, let's say house soy sauce, right?
That's right.
If you go to a traditional route, you go to a typical route, let's say you go to a big maker from China, they will tell you how many bottles you want. And then if you tell them, I want 10 bottles, they tell you, sorry, I cannot do 10 bottles. I need to do a container. There's an MOQ, a minimum order quantity, right? So at least a pallet, at least a container, 40 foot, 20 foot. But here, in Sauce Legend, we can make a custom physical bottle for you from as small as a box of 12 bottles.
12 bottles, okay.
Just 12 bottles, we can do it for you. That is something truly no one else has ever done before, okay? And of course, consumption, right? After you make the sauce, what do? Your 12 bottles of sauce, you can use it for your own family, of course, or give it away to your family and friends, right? That's easy. Or even sell it. If you want to make more, let's say you want to make 10 boxes, you can sell the rest on our platform. Now, last but not least, vote sauce. I can imagine with the traction that we get, play sauce, people making sauce, people buying sauce, it will come to a point where the question of who curates what sauces can even go to the market. When you go to market, right, from a user buying sauces and now making sauces, one box, and if it's very popular, let's say you have a sauce for the 大闸蟹, right? And it gets to a point where you're making 50, 100 boxes ready, and you think there is a potential for this product to be commercialized, to sell to the supermarket chains. That's where vote sauce comes in, right? Not a single person will decide, but the community who holds the token, the NFT, the Sauce Legend token, our community will decide who are the ones that we can onboard, all Sauce Legends around the world, as well as how to curate new Sauce Legends and bring them to market, to bring them into some of the gourmet supermarkets. So that's what the Sauce DAO is about. So in summary, what can a user do on Sauce Legend? First, you can play the game. You can buy from all heritage sauce makers. So we will have soy sauce, we have oyster sauce, we have fish sauce, we have sriracha chili. As we speak, some of these products from these old makers are coming to Singapore. Okay, and we'll have it up by next month. You can buy new sauces from chefs. They can mint cooking recipes as NFT. You can buy the NFTs as well from the chefs. You create your own sauces. You can order a physical carton. So a carton means a box of 12 bottles.
Okay.
Right? They can use, give, and sell their bespoke sauce. They can send their bespoke sauce to our DAO for voting. At the same time, they get a chance to commercialize their sauces worldwide. Right? So you get a whole big picture. First, you can play sauce, you can buy sauce, you can make sauce, and you can even vote sauce as well. So
wow,
our team,
that's amazing.
myself, Ken,
yeah,
right, and Jenny, right, she is my partner, and the interesting thing about her ever since she joined us is that she's really been cooking a lot more, because before she was from the finance industry, you know, and she's a working mom of 3 kids.
Wow.
Why we do this is because we want to make our food and our sauces safe for our children and preserve some of these old sauce makers, right, around the world. Yeah. If not, we are endangered. So don't miss out. We are looking to build our team, right? Reach out to us, right? Our Twitter, which we just started not long ago, Facebook, right? And our website, saucelegend.com. Okay? Yeah. So I like to end off by saying that we are still at the infancy stage, but we already see interest. We already see traction from chefs, from our existing customers. You know, besides Nanyang sauce, they're asking me, what other sauces are there? What's the oyster sauce you recommend? Where's the chili sauce? You know, what's the fish sauce that you will say that is real, is good? We want it. You know, so we are at the very start of a whole food revolution, and we are very focused on sauces because a good sauce carries a dish. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Ken. I mean, this is really, I think, mind-blowing. I mean, from my perspective, not to mention about us from Web 2.0 to Web 3, which is basically what we're trying to achieve. You guys just made something from Web 0 to 3.0. And I mean, I think there's quite a bit of, I would say, industry insights, which you just basically elaborated through the presentation, which was really, I think, helpful to understand how you could see a application using NFT to just make new innovations and make this industry revival again. If I can just to understand a little bit, so by using NFT, you're able to basically solving the, I would say, the major pain point as in the food and beverage industry, particularly in the sourcing industry, is the costing pressure is actually made it too standardized. So you don't really get, firstly, customized sauce, and secondly, the consumer don't get to choose or decide the sauce they want, and they can't even quantify. So you guys are doing something not too complicated, but really it's going to revolutionize how I mean, every one of us is going to recognize their own sauce and let their friends or family to recognize their sauce and be proudly of that. Their taste can be shared with friends, or they can share the same taste with either the master chef or Michelin chef, etc. I mean, can I ask just like, how did you came up with this idea? Just for how long have you been contemplating such a thing, and how did that journey go? Was it really like kind of like smooth, or there's some kind of challenges you've been facing all the time?
Yes, it's a constant work in progress. Okay,
right.
When we first came out with the concept versus now, in fact, when I first met you, how until now, right? I think the last 2-3 months we have improved and fine-tuned our concept, because as we talk to more stakeholders, for example, right? the key people, for example, like chefs. When we hear from chefs, we hear what is the pain point in their industry, you know, and every chef is creative. Every chef has a pride in creating a sauce, you know. You look at Gordon Ramsay, for example, all the top chefs have their own line of sauces, right?
Sure.
Yeah, but what about the chefs that are very famous? What about the chefs that are running their own restaurants that serve very good food? You know, they will not be able to do it because it's something that is their dream, right? And through Sauce Legend, we can help to make their dream come true. Also, the home cooks. If you look at the number of people that are posting cooking videos, recipes on Facebook, right? How to cook and all that. Like, for example, one of the food influencers who's coming on board, he came out with a series, which is called the Rice Cooker Series. Something that no chefs will do, but a rice cooker series means for you that you can use your rice cooker to make something within 15, 20 minutes. So fast for working moms or dads when you come home, right? So recipes like that are changing as our population, as the people lifestyle is changing, right? I think there's a huge space, and we are still work in progress, you know. So a common question we get asked is, who will be making the real sauce after voting, right? After voting, who will be making a sauce? Our first sauce maker on board is Nanyang Sauce. Okay, we are a licensed food maker since 1959, based in Singapore. We will undertake the responsibility to make the sauce, right? And for as low MOQ as 1 carton. Okay, I'm currently the director of Nanyang Sauce, and we are willing to do this. At the same time, we will be opening up to other traditional artisan makers from around the region. There's one in Malaysia we are speaking to right now, and she's open, you know, and there will be more coming on board, because I can imagine the volume that will increase, and we as a small boutique sauce maker, we cannot handle that kind of volume, right? So it will be spread out, right? And who will vote the sauce down? We'll talk about how it can be eventually, which are the ones that are going to be, has the potential to be commercialized. Do you all, maybe we can open up for any Q&A?
That's right. We have quite a few questions. Felicia, I'm not sure. When I see the live, I see your message. There are quite a few questions over there. But I'm on iPad YouTube. I'm not sure I can see everything in terms of the.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
No problem. Let me go on the platform as well and can see.
I'm not sure. When I see the live, I see your message. There are quite a few questions over there. But
okay.
I'm on. Let me see chat. Okay. Okay. So there's one question I can see here. So how is the gas fee? How is the gas fee? I mean, this is a very particular question. How is the gas fee for the sauce fee? Or the sauce fee?
Okay, let me of this. Okay, so the gas fee, this will be, of course, a critical part, right? Because gas is getting so expensive, and not just the gas. Yeah. So this one we are in the works of managing it so that it can be, we will not be overwhelmed by all the high gas fees that we face at the moment. Yeah. So we want it a bit low, right? People who I see another question that we don't really need the real sauce. If you need the digital, just the picture of the sauce, no problem. We have that. Definitely, we have that. Just the picture, and then you can even have it as accessory, as a sauce legend. In fact, we've got a very unique shape which is coming up, right? That is something that we've never seen before, but it's been around all the countries. People actually have used this as a storage of liquids since 1,000 over years ago. The Chinese, we call it hulu, right? Which is the gout.
That's right.
Right.
From places, do you have that picture? I definitely, I think our
Yes.
our poster has that picture, right? It's really
Let me share.
culturally, I think, resonating with a lot of people who live
Yes.
in Asia.
Yes. And you know, when I did my research on this it's actually worldwide. Can you guys see? Source Legend is a GAP. But for us in Asia, the Chinese, we see it as a storage of medicine, right? Or something that's healthy. It can be used as a water bottle. In fact, even back in the thousands of years ago in Europe, they use it as a storage of water, like a water bottle, right? So
I see.
I don't see many people using it, but this will be our mascot. This will be our NFT. This will be our image. This will be the GAP. And it comes in all shapes and sizes. So stay tuned, okay? You can have your own Source Legend bottle as an NFT without the source as well, no problem. And keep your ideas coming in, right? And join our community, give us more ideas. Together, we can build this from scratch, right? And that's why coming from a Web0 background, right, as a traditional source maker, I think that potential is endless, you know, for a Web3
that's
platform.
Right. That's very good. I mean, just for everyone who have joined now, I mean, we are just doing this third workshop with Moledao, and today our special guest is Ken. Ken is from Source Legend, and he just shared a really fascinating story about how NFT could be utilized in the real 0.0. Okay, listen to me clearly. 0.0 industry, which essentially has been lacking in innovations for about a really, really long time. And what we see now, right, is a special picture of his mascot. Essentially, that's going to be a very culturally, I think, resonating with a lot of people here living in Asia, where we care about how the food tastes. In addition, if you guys are still not so sure about what our model is, check in our website, moledao.io. We're a community that's going to empower everybody who have a passion in crypto. Whether you want to learn about crypto from very basic 0 to 1, no problem, come to us. And we do workshops, we do courses. And if you want to do a challenge, that's great, because we just launched our second hackathon. And it's themed NFT 2.0. So whatever we saw the NFT boom last year, and there's really, really, I think, a lot of innovations within NFT itself, which we discussed a little bit last time and in the previous 2 or 3 workshops. So follow us on YouTube, follow us on Discord and Twitter. And also, if you're really interested about the projects and know more details about this legend, the Source Legend from Ken, do follow them on the Twitter. And then let's look at some of the let me see. One sec. I missed the page. May I know the blockchain platform used the Source Legend project? Okay. Yeah. So Ken, have you decided which blockchain you may use for this project?
Right now, we are in a process. We have looked at a few blockchains, right? And we are in the process of deciding which one is best for us. So we have not got a decision out yet, right? But the blockchain we want to work with is a blockchain that is able to accommodate the nature of what we are building, right? And we have a few in consideration at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of choices, right? I mean, the top 7 or 8 you got already. I mean, besides Ethereum, which is basically the largest NFT, has been a storage and a transactions. You got a lot of other options which can save you on the gas fee, and there are new, I think, foundations, etc., to support your projects.
Yes.
Okay. Any particular concerns regarding which one you want to go for in terms of the public chains? I mean, any particular areas that you see? Is it more user or consumers, or is it more technology smooth, or any other concerns you want to choose?
So one consideration right now is, of course, interoperability, right? I think now a lot of blockchains are very much still in a fixed silo, if you will, but slowly this is changing, right? So that's one, stability of the platform, and of course we want the user friendliness, because end of the day we are bringing people who are not so much on the blockchain. We're not bringing, of course there will be crypto natives, but some of the influencers, the chefs, they are not so much on the blockchain yet. So if we bring them on board, a platform for us has to be super user friendly, and that's one of the keys that we're looking for. And of course the gas fees, right? I mean, how that works out, especially with the whole discussion now, Ethereum 2.0 and all that, is something that we welcome. Also feedback, if you guys know of a good blockchain, and of course that you have done your own IDO before, please feel free to share and your experiences and reach out to us. We want to build this together. I don't have all the answers. I just know how to make very good sauce, I saw a comment. Thanks for that. If Felicia, you can help me post our background, so that there is the understanding and the assurance that we can.
That's right. That sounds good. I mean, just from my
so you understand where we come from.
I mean, just basically search nanyasauce.com. Sorry, let me just. I mean, the first time when I met Ken, I think about 2 months ago, and I thought, okay, I don't know much about sauce, and I really versed on this, and saw amazing. I mean, how Ken has been doing in terms of producing the sauce, and it's really efforts and the quality of the ingredients put into, just to make sure whatever it's going to put in your mouth in terms of taste, it's going to be as good as you can. So to basically just follow up on that question, so which public chain would you be doing? I mean, I know you're still trying to figure out which could be the best, and I think the biggest concern you just mentioned is interoperability. Interoperability. So essentially can get everybody able to connect. So far, I see, given the most of the users on Ethereum and most of the NFT transactions on Ethereum, I think Polygon probably serves the best purpose in terms of interoperability. At the same time, it's very low cost. And some of the minting on OpenSea, if you don't do too much complicated stuff, it's free. So that can be your first trial in terms of getting things raw. And of course, it's going to use Polygon's chain instead of the main Ethereum chain, but it's the most, I think, easily accessible. I mean, anyone who in our community, more than welcome to advise, and if you got more, I think, to explore, definitely connect with us, and we can help you connect with Ken, or you can connect with them directly. Okay. So who is your client? Okay, we got a question. So who is your target audience? Okay, sorry, I missed a few. There's a about that. Will there be benefits for early joined people to your projects? I think the answer is yes, but definitely I would like Ken to elaborate.
Stay tuned. In fact, we are taking part in Moledao's hackathon. So
okay.
That's going to come up soon, right? And stay tuned, because for us, I see the potential NFT beyond just an image or work of art. NFT can be an asset, an investable asset. Let me explain to you a little bit more, right? Imagine the NFT contains this NFT dish, right? He decides to make it into a NFT with Sauce Legend. The NFT becomes an asset because it will be the recipe for that sauce. And you think about it, that bottle of sauce that this chef has made, let's say it's called a ABC sauce, right? This special ABC sauce is already selling on saucelegend.com, which means there is already a stream of income to the chef. So whoever buys the NFT is not just buying the recipe, you're also buying the rights to royalties of that sauce. That's what I can say. for now, right? Because this is something that is going to change the industry. Think of it like music, right? A singer produces a piece of music, cuts an album. He or she enjoys royalties for the rest of his life. If he sells the album, the rights to the album or the collection, right, the buyer will enjoy that royalty as well. Similar concept for Source Ledger and NFT.
Got it. That's very good. Okay, we'll come to the next question. So how are you doing? I missed the front page. May I know which? Okay, this has been covered. Who's your target audience? What's your plan for the future? I assume the audience will be your customers or your users. Is it? I mean,
yes.
Just any way you can
sure.
understand it. You can, yeah.
My target audience, I in fact have a slide, which was earlier in my sharing. Let me just bring it up. Okay.
Presentation, I remember. Yeah.
Can you guys see? Is it?
Yeah, target audience.
So my target audience is,
right.
Of course, I can say it's everybody, but my primary audience will be people who are health conscious, right? Who are looking for healthy sources, healthy food, farm to table, the small batch producers, young families, millennials, food influencers, chefs, gastronomes, people who are into gourmet stuff. This is my audience for a start before it gets mass adoption to everybody just go in and buy, right? But for a start, some of this will come from my existing customers of Nanyang Sauce. Some of this will come from the customers of the old Sauce legends, because it's not just going to be Nanyang Sauce. That we already have other sauce makers from Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Hong Kong, Indonesia. These 5 to begin with, right? These are sauce makers that have been around for at least 50 years. They make tremendous sauce, right? If you love oyster sauce, you'll know that it adds the extra punch to your cooking, right? And I've always wondered how oyster sauce is made, the old school way. So I did my research and I find, wow, oyster sauce that was made hundreds of years ago is actually taking oysters and boiling it, right? You cook it and boil it, and until you reduce it to heat over time, reduction into a thick liquid, dark liquid, and that's oyster sauce, right? Of course, the oyster sauce you buy these days in the supermarket, you buy for $5, $10 a bottle. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be like that. A lot of it is oyster flavored.
That's what I feel. Yeah, it feels like oyster.
You are not getting the real stuff.
There's no.
But I found, let me tell you a secret. I found an old school maker from Hong Kong. Still doing the old school way. He has his own oyster farm, his own boats that he bring in the oysters, right? And then what he do is that he takes more than 100 kilos of oyster, raw oyster, fresh from the sea, and he boils it and cooks it and reduces it to only 8 bottles of sauce.
8 bottles
is
of
the
100
kind
kilo of oyster. Oh my God.
Of oyster sauce that is real oyster sauce, no chemicals, no preservative, no flavorings or additives, real stuff.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking about, an old sauce legend like that, right? So
that's
their
amazing.
Customers, Nanyang Sauce customer, the Malaysian customers of the old sauce maker, this is the group of people that we will be reaching out to for a start.
Wow. Tell me after this or later, I mean, where I can buy that sauce. I just want to taste.
I can tell you now, saucelegend.com. You can buy at saucelegend.com in April next month.
Great.
Our website is up. Our product is on the way here.
That's great. Yeah. Just want to try how it's actually different, right? I mean, I know I generally don't have a very sensitive taste, so people who know me, I know I'm basically just eating salads for most of the time if I don't have any appointments, and I don't put any sauce in it. I mean, no offense, right? I mean, just like I feel I can taste the vegetables and the proteins directly with their natural taste instead of using other creamy whatever sauce, right? So I definitely check it out. Sauce later.
I want to share a quick story and analogy. Now we all know what is a orange juice, right? Any country you go to, any hotel you stay in, breakfast they will offer you orange juice. Orange
Yes, that's right.
There are two types. One is the freshly squeezed orange juice, right? They take out orange, they squeeze the juice out of it, they juice it. That's the freshly squeezed one. But there's another kind of orange juice that you find a lot, right? That is orange in color, right? It's a concentrate. It's orange cordial. You find in buffet lines. It looks orange. It tastes sweet. It tastes sour. But it's not the real thing. You know that, right? So I like to use that.
I know it's made from concentrate, right?
Yes. So I like to use the analogy because a lot of what we consume now, a lot of sauces, what we consume now is that kind of
concentrate,
flavored sauce, right? I would like to, So, but imagine somebody who has always been only exposed to this, the concentrate, right? But imagine that this person or customer suddenly tried the freshly squeezed one. Do you think the person will tell the difference? Likely, right? There's a good chance. And once you try the real thing, there's no going back. There's no going back. It's a point of no return. Once you had the real stuff, it's like a bird out of the cage. Once the bird is out of the cage, you won't want to fly back.
It feels like that we have been fooled or lied to throughout our whole life, right?
There's a lot
something authentic.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that is the nature of the food industry. If you look at, you watch on Netflix, right? We all love Netflix and some of the other subscription shows. Just go on Netflix, you just search the show called Rotten. It talks about all the scandals in ROTTEN, Rotten. You search for the film called Seaspiracy. Sea conspiracy, right? So Seaspiracy, SEASPIRACY. They're so amazing. There are so many documentaries on how food is perverted these days, right? Like, for example, one of the episodes in Rotten talks about maple syrup. Maple syrup is no longer the maple syrup that we know it as, right? Honey, we all know. There's real honey and there's the mass honey. Sauces. Nobody has done one on sauce yet. Why not? So with Sauce Legend, we hope to expose people, right, to what the old traditional sauces taste like, what real soy sauce tastes like, what real oyster sauce, what real fish sauce, what real sriracha chili sauce tastes like. And it's actually not that much more expensive. It's not 10 times, 20, 50 times more expensive.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. And it's what we put into our bodies, A lot of people don't realize that. They think, okay, I don't use much. If every day you just add 1 spoon of soy sauce or fish sauce, oyster sauce, whatever sauce, when you are 50 years old, you will have consumed 243 1.5 liters bottle of sauce in your life when you are 50 years old. 243 1.5 liter bottles of sauce. That's how much we are actually consuming subconsciously. We don't realize it.
Wow. Didn't realize at all. I mean, I just found your documentary Rotten on Netflix. The title looks really, and the introduction looks really interesting. It felt something you have to just be a little bit nicer to yourself to some extent, whether it's due to NFT or not. And just like if we didn't talk to you tonight, we will never know that there's another world where people can generally feel the authenticated taste using real ingredients, right? As opposed to the concentrates and all those highly manufactured stuff. That's really interesting. And one more question I see here. I think we can quickly cover that. If we have your Sauce Legend NFT, can we make our sauce in your lab? This is a kind of privileged experience. Oh, that's a good idea. I knew it's hard to make sauce. Some kind of experience to make something out of your lab if they own an NFT. Would you consider?
Yes, of course. In fact, that's part of our 4 quadrant, right? Of make
Yeah.
source, right? As
Yeah.
part of make source, they can, but our NFT holders will,
Yeah.
you see, they can turn
Yeah.
their sources into actual production. Means we will produce for them small batch, minimum just 1 box of 12 bottles.
Yes.
It's bespoke for them. You've got something that nobody else has in the whole world, right? And we can do that for you as part of the NFT.
Amazing. I mean, for anyone who has really passionate about NFT and crypto, do really, I think, join our hackathon. And since Ken has already signed up for it, and we're really looking at how this project is going to take off. Personally, I have been talking to Ken in the last 2 months or so, since I think probably late December, around Christmas season, introduced by a common friend. And I was really amazed by his, I would say, passion into about the natural taste of food and how that should be actually be felt by everybody. It's not just them as a professional sauce maker, but for everyone in the world. I think that's a really big dream. I think but dream I think we should all have. It's not just those kind of like premium sauce buyers. It's a taste for people. So I think today we'll have another 4 minutes before we close the session. But I think the story keeps going. I mean, just in the last 2 months, among the 3 or 4 times I talked to Ken, every time I got new ideas, he has been really progressing and quite, I would say, aggressively on this journey. So do stay tuned. And if you guys any questions, either join us our community or follow our Twitter. And at the same time, if you have particular questions about Ken's projects and want to discuss more, follow them on the Twitter. It's called the Legend Source on Twitter, and just search that. In addition, if you still haven't signed up for the hackathon, I advise everybody just to at least register. Then you will be notified of all the workshops that we are holding in the next about 3 to 4 weeks. So this is just one of them. And I do really expect Ken to give us a very interesting presentation later, hopefully in the finale in early April. Okay. Any
thank
last
you.
comments
And
from
we're
Ken?
looking for, thank you. It's been very, very helpful. Every time I speak to you, how you have always impressed me with your knowledge, and part of what we have built today is all thanks to you. So thank you. We are looking to build our team. If you guys are developers, if you guys are crypto natives, who can lend a hand as well as invest. If you're looking to invest, reach out to us now. I think now is a very exciting time for us. We are open to talent and we are actively looking as well, because while we have the whole plan, we are definitely still a long way to achieving it, because we are building our team. It is not just a 2 or 10-man team. We are actually looking to build a team. So please reach out to us and join us, like us, and you'll be surprised, how far we can go, And my name is Ken, so, why not? It's Ken, it's not cannot, right? So we are.
I like this.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So join Ken, whether you're a developer, whether you're a investor or something that you really want to have make a difference in crypto and outside crypto. I think Ken's project is really fascinating, and everything is possible, as what Ken's name suggests. We can do it, right? So stay tuned for our next workshop. I think it's going to be tomorrow, Thursday, I think 9 or 8 p.m. to 9:30. There will be some technical for developers if you're particularly interested in developing some projects for you. And also do join, follow us and follow Ken's Twitter to see the updates. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, guys. See you at the hackathon.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye.
See you.
Cheers.
Bye.